All right, folks, we are back. I'm going to take Joseph in Texas. We'll go to JD, Rudy, and Matt in a moment. But after the Joseph call, we're going to play some of this Chertoff clip. Joseph, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hi there. I'm involved with the Bureau Change in San Antonio, and I'm just wondering if, the October 16th thing is coming up with Obama at A&M, if y'all can kind of like keep it in front of everybody. And also, I think it would be a good goal to have maybe like 10,000 DVDs going out there, like was done in Arizona.
Yeah, but the guys that did that out in Arizona, they had their own campaign where, they burned them themselves. I can tell you this. I mean, we encode everything.
I just talked to one of them there. They might be coming down here.
Well, that would be excellent. I mean, I know that I'm pretty sure that we're going to be trying to ship DVDs on the launch on the. I'm not sure if it's the 16th that's coming out, 15th, or the 14th. But the day that it comes out on the web, you are more than empowered to download the high-quality version. You can either burn a DivX disc, or you can use a video converter to make it into VOB files, or MPEG-2, which is standard DVD format, and then burn DVDs from there that will play on everybody's DVD player. We would encourage that kind of action.
Right. And but we're all pitching in. I guess what I'm saying is just like a push for everyone to actually do it, because people might be going out there but not realizing that, we should bring certain things with us. Things that are common sense may not be common sense.
Well, you know what? People out there need to understand, if they want to be fighting in this info war, they need the proper weapons and the proper tools. And I find the proper weapons and proper tools are DVDs, pamphlets, information, and really education on your own part and the ability to talk to people. If you can't reach people verbally in that 15 to 30 second to maybe 5-minute encounter, how are you going to get them to not only take the DVD you're handing them? Because a lot of people will take the DVD and they'll just throw it away or throw it to the side. But if you make an impact with your knowledge, your statement, your rapport with a person, they're more than likely to throw it into the DVD player later that evening and take a look at the information. So there's a lot we can do. Fall of the Republic is shaping up to be an amazing movie, and I hope that people do get out there and do similar actions to what they did in Arizona. Appreciate the call, Joseph. Before we go to JD, Rudy, Matt, and others, this clip, what's it run, about 5-6 minutes, Hoosh? About 5-6? Oh, wow, it's actually 8. All right, so we're going to play a little bit of this. We might play the whole thing. Here it is, Michael Chertoff getting hit hard and getting hit often on C-SPAN.
First call up for Michael Chertoff, St. Petersburg, Florida. William, Independent Line. Hi.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
You mentioned the September 10th, 2001 mindset. That made me nervous, so I think it should be September 9th. I was wondering if the missing $2 trillion plus that Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld reported on September 10th, 2001, where those trillions went. Did you all ever find it?
I have to say, I must have missed that news report about the missing trillions. I do know that in the run-up to September 11th, the 9/11 Commission looked back at what had been done and what hadn't been done, and I think they found the key problem was collecting information and fusing information so that we could get the best possible picture of the threat we faced. In the Cold War, we worried about bombers and missiles attacking the United States, and that's why we had radar. In the war involving terrorists, we don't have radar that's going to detect bombs and missiles that are going to prevent attacks. What we have is intelligence, and the ability to gather and analyze and integrate all that intelligence is the principal way in which we protect ourselves.
Your predecessor, Tom Ridge. And now Mark in Gwen, Michigan. You got your volume down, I know, and you can go ahead with your question for Secretary Chertoff.
Yes, hello, Mr. Chertoff.
Hello, Mark.
I wanted to let you know that I called the Department of Homeland Security and was trying to give them information. They connected me with the FBI, and as soon as I mentioned the wealthy elite, they cut me off. I called back the Department of Homeland Security and asked them, I'm trying to get the Department of Homeland Security some very important information. They connected me back to the FBI.
Mark, what is that important information? What is that important information?
That important information is called the wealthy elite. We have overwhelming evidence to prove that these people have taken control of the United States federal government. They are the ones that attacked us on 9/11.
So, Mr. Chertoff, if that man has information he wants to share, where would you recommend he send it?
Well, I think they did the right thing. They sent him to the FBI. If someone wants to allege a crime or a threat, usually the FBI is the first respondent, and they have to evaluate whether they think there's any actual evidence to proceed. But normally the FBI is very responsive if there's a serious, credible piece of information.
What's your general viewpoint about people who think the federal government was involved in 9/11?
I think that that's in the same category as Holocaust denial and those people who still aren't convinced that President Obama was born in Hawaii. It's kind of a out there conspiracy theory which does not warrant a lot of attention.
Mandy in New Orleans, you're on with Michael Chertoff. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Would you please allow me a follow-up, because I know predictably what this man will answer to my questions. Mr. Chernoff, please do not feign ignorance on this, because if I can find this out, certainly you know it. Recently, 6 of the 10 9/11 commissioners have stated publicly that the 9/11 Commission was hogwashed, that it was set up to fail, and it was a whitewash. Recently, Bethlehem Publications, 9 scientists that were given debris from the World Trade Centers have found evidence of nanothermite, a high-grade military explosive.
Okay, Mandy, thank you. We're going to leave it there because we know where you're going. Mr. Chertoff, you've addressed that question.
Yeah, I mean, again, this crops up from time to time, and it has been looked at thoroughly by everybody. Frankly, you have people who witnessed the planes going into the buildings. I mean, it's. I have to say, it's like Holocaust denial and the people who believe the president was not born in Hawaii. It's just a myth.
Orlando, Florida. Nelson, Democrat. Hi. Whoop. Nelson is gone, it appears, and we will move on to Hayesville, Georgia. Clyde, Independent.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Mr. Chertoff.
Morning.
Excuse me, I have 33 years in the military, 5 years working for the Department of Defense, and to this day I still see the cover-up on 9/11. We know that Abel Danger, which infiltrated the terrorist activities, had photographs of the terrorists, knew that they had a plan to attack targets, and a report went forward, said on either Clinton's desk, I believe it was 98, 99, or Jamie Gorelick's desk, and it was never acted on.
You write in your book about you call this a generational challenge. Unquestionably.
All right, let's just stop it right there, because that guy was probably my favorite caller. He does get hit up one more time, but notice they didn't even want to address Abel Danger. I promise you, Abel Danger does not come up. They don't want to address the fact that he's a 33-year-old or 33-year veteran of the military, 5-year veteran of the Department of Defense, and he's bringing up Abel Danger and the fact that they had the hijackers prior to 9/11, and they went to the FBI 70-plus times, and the FBI said, no thanks. It's kind of like when the neighbors called the CIA on Walid al-Shari, and they said, you know what? No big deal. They don't call the cops. They call the CIA. Everything's normal. Everything's good. All right, let's continue with callers. JD in Canada, you are on the line, sir.
Hey, I'm in Toronto right now, and I actually come from a community with a lot of natives in it.
Okay.
And that clip that you showed was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. I almost started crying. I can't believe
the one where they
sent
the body bags to the Manitoba tribe.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no, it happens all the time. I mean, the things that I've seen, just in
they're going to be held accountable for that. I'm showing that to everyone I know. That is the most insulting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that is they have been retracting, and they've apologized. By the way,
I don't care. They should have never done it in the first place.
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying that the political spin is, we made a mistake, and we're really sorry. And I'll be surprised if the national news. I was pretty shocked that the CBC.
I don't think they made a mistake.
No, I don't think they made a mistake either, friend. What else you got for me, JD?
That's it. I just wanted to chime in about that because I thought it was so disgusting. I called you up right away.
Hey, that's awesome. Send that clip out to everybody. I'm with you 100%. You just type in H1N1 body bags into YouTube, and you can get that clip in pretty good quality, and hopefully it'll wake some people up. And maybe you know what else you should be sending people, when you send them a clip like that, send them the 1979 60 Minutes where they talk about the 76 swine flu pandemic and people taking the shot, becoming quadriplegics, dying, getting Gilliam's bear. It's a good way to introduce people to the truth and get them very wary of taking a shot or a nasal spray that may, in fact, be harmful to their health. Let's go to Rudy in Canada. Rudy, you're on the line.